Hello, hello. Bloody great to be here. How are we doing audio-wise? Ishan, great to have you. Ian, welcome. Rashitra, create, great to have you. Pop past, WGR, I'm doing well. Kemsy, welcome, welcome, welcome. Prathav, welcome back. Orkin, great to see you in here. Good audio, thank you, Ian. Plethorables, hello. Riggy61, great to have you. Yeti Fresh, I've learned so much from you. That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that. Whispering Brush, how you doing? I like that name. Oh. Zoharamat, no, Soha Hamrat, appreciate you. Udula, good morning. Julia, great to have you. Elsie, welcome. So today I'm thinking that I want to take this character a little further, and I want to do a little bit of blender work as well. So we'll do our regular sort of warm up. All right, so we'll do our warm up. I've chosen this Daihatsu just to get some shapes going. Then I might transition into doing some color and maybe some form and that kind of stuff. And then we whip it into Blender and have some fun over there to wrap up the stream. So how does that sound to everyone? Devi, great to have you. Ian, do I ever use grease pencil? I've only just started playing around with it. Kemsy, you're Aussie. I certainly am Aussie. Whispering Brush, really love your style. Been following your work for the last few years. Thank you so much. Devi Animations, yeah, going well. Going well. Alright, I've got multiple beverages here and I'm that unorganized. I haven't plugged in my bloody tablet, so let's do that. Okay. Hopefully that didn't break anything. So how have you guys been doing this week so far? I mean, it's Sunday for a lot of people, so, and it's Monday for me. So how was your last week? All right, I need to get the glove on. What do you find easier, color or grayscale? Depends what you define as easier. Depends on the context. But black and white is the basis for color in my experience. So probably black and white, less to think about. Ricky61, a fellow Aussie, nice one. Will this also be on YouTube? Yep, it's on YouTube right now. Sunday fun day, that's it. Lana, it's a heat wave. It's bloody chilly down here. Let's get that out of the way. Just zoom me out a smidge. Not like it really matters, but yeah, I'm bloody chilly. So I'm gonna focus on me. There we go. All right. Okay. Let's get going with it, shall we? Enough fluffing about with the technical shenanigans. So yeah, gonna be practicing some shapes with this car. Then gonna be pushing the shapes, working on the stylization. and then go into this character, doing a bit of color, then hopefully popping into Blender. So only doing a tiny little bit of color, maybe even just some trying to figure out the front and profile views of the head, whipping it into Blender and doing some 3D stuff. I reckon that'll be fun. Something a little bit different. But first, let's get a sketch going. Okay. What's a good way to get better at doing color, like digitally? Understanding light, just in general. Horned Warlord, I'm doing well. How you doing? What a name. Okay, so let's see if we can play with some of these shapes. Now I've got to make sure I've got this in frame for bloody Instagram. Alright, so just some wonkiness. I guess there's a line of action, but not really. Line of action confuses the shit out of me, if I'm honest. I don't know about you guys. Do I do much thumbnailings for composition? For compositions? Yes. And that helps a ton. Because I tend to go straight into the details too early. And yeah, it gets pretty unruly pretty quickly. Ah, great to hear it, Horned Warlord. It's 97 degrees Fahrenheit. What's that in Celsius? Is that like 40 or something? Ian. Yep, light sells the scene. Definitely. Alright, so I'm just doing some loose shapes here, trying to find, I guess you could say, the character of the car, and then we'll do some coloring of it and just whip some shapes down quickly, just as a quick little warm-up. Then we'll get into some character stuff. So this week for me, it's been freaking busy getting the plain Janes all sorted, all the periphery documentation, getting the hand sculpts and everything, all these getting ready, all packaged up, and getting the package, making sure, like, I've tried like 4 different kinds of glue with like assembling this. Now this is now, and imagine it snaps off, how embarrassing. But this is like one piece now. It's all these are all different pieces, but it's all like one. It's like I've used 5-minute epoxy on them because other glues just wasn't having it, because I put it in a box and I was like whipping it around to see if it would survive shipping. It just wasn't. So now I've just got the heavy duty stuff and it has become one. 36 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty toasty. The car seems to be a pretty chill person. That's kind of how I like, being serious. So that's kind of how I see it. Find the character of the car, because all cars have kind of like faces in the front, right? 36 Celsius. I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty hot. Try a nice little cheeky 45. Okay, so this is just giving me a nice little base here. Adam, how you doing? Massey, hello from scorching hot California. Oh, you've got the Californians in here today. Duct tape didn't work. No, it. I wish it'd be simpler. But no, the 5-minute epoxy. That's the thing that held it together the best. It's like one piece of plastic now, or like resin. And it definitely, I'm like hitting the shit out of the box and everything, and it's all staying together. So it will. I'm very confident they will survive better. It's strong. It's going to be like it's going to tear the box apart before the bloody thing breaks. But it's just the little things you don't think of, like through doing this whole process of the sculpts and that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, I've got like a massive checklist. I've got a big fuck off checklist for this week to get through. There's just shit you wouldn't think of. It's like, all right, I've got to punch out all the little, like, the bottom, like, rubber things, because I couldn't get the right size of those. So I've had to figure out how to source them, punch out 80 of those guys this week. It's just like another random thing that I wouldn't think I would have, like when I started this little project, that I would have to think about. But you learn. And then in doing this, the content's kind of been on the down low, I guess you could say. I haven't been posting as frequently as I would like, but it's just shit's got to get done, you know. Lana, which part of Australia you're in? I am in South Australia. Gorilla Glue works great. Benji, it doesn't for impact, if that makes sense. For like strength and like, but if I like, because this thumb is on here, right? I can like flick that. That's not coming off. Okay. If I Gorilla Glued that, that's just gonna like flick off. Yeah, but I wouldn't have known that. I would have thought, oh yeah, Gorilla Glue sounds bloody strong. That'll work. After testing. Yeah, Solana. South Australia. Right down the bottom. Why did you replace your Sony XM4? Sony XM4. What the fuck is a Sony XM4? I don't think I've ever had a Sony XM4. What is that? Is that a camera? Oh, I don't know. I'm not aware that I've replaced any Sony. I might be mistaken if I've just blanked on something. Oh, headphones. Fuck, yeah. Idiot, of course. Fuck. I'm just trying to think. Fuck, because I've got a whole like new tech shit. I'm like, no microphone, Sony. The XM4s. These were a gift. So I just upgraded, and the other ones are falling apart. But they're now my drum headphones. So they still are a quality headphone. The only thing that I didn't like about them was that you had to hold the button down every time you wanted to swap devices. Like if I want to go from computer to phone to like swap devices, I had to like relink it to every fucking Bluetooth thing, which was a pain in the tuchus if you're doing that like multiple times a day. All right, let's get this color going. Start just whipping in some. I want to learn from this lighting to get some of the reflections and stuff like that. I don't want to go super realistic, but I want to sort of base it in some some form of reality. I'm just getting this base shape. Boom, boom, shabang. Cool. Silver Gold, welcome. I heard they have a volcano in Australia. I don't know, probably. Oh no, Ian. My condolences. Oh shit. Have I been to the Adelaide Zoo? I certainly have been to the Adelaide Zoo. Bloody love that place. Yeah, Kangaroo Island. Kangaroo Island's awesome. The best thing about Adelaide, right, is you're like 25 minutes away from wherever you want to be. If you want to be in the city, you're about 25 minutes away. Well, obviously depends where you live, but pretty much like everything's so close. You got the beach, you got the hills, and then you got the city, and then like the suburbs around it. It's pretty sick. Like comparatively to other places, how long it takes. So here I'm just gonna whip in, like even that gives it like an illusion of light if we wanted to. This is why I love like light and values and stuff, because I can just like make it look like there's a tree overhanging, you know, and then you just got like dappled light on top. I don't really want to do that, but that's how it can just pop when you get things just right. Bloody good fun. Yeah, it's bloody chilly. Sketchy. Welcome. I hope I can visit Australia someday. The water looks so clear. Yeah, depends where you go. But nah, I'm a big fan. Lived here my whole life. But I will be coming to the great state of California later on in the year. So that'll be fun. In October. I think I might even be going to New York as well. So that's going to be a bloody adventure. Never been to New York. I like the idea of kind of like the I don't know, something's always happening. Like there's this sort of, I don't know, never been there, but it's just like the impression that I get of like, alright, you go there to get shit done. Which I'm a big fan of. Alright, so I'm just going to block in all the dark areas first. Are you doing the light boxing? I am. I'm going to be in Lightbox. Kemsy, appreciate ya. Thanks for popping in. You have to go to Disneyland. I've been to Disneyland. I went to Anaheim when I was like 12 or 13. And I've been to Disneyland. It was sick. But that was like with my parents, and it was for baseball. Like I went there for baseball. So it was very you do what the group does. But as an adult, I don't think I've been out of the country as an adult. Have I? No, I don't think I've been out of the country. So that's going to be fun. Alright, so I'm slowly throwing in some of the darker darker tones. Not trying to be super accurate with it, but just get the essence of it. Got the windshield wipers, they're a bit wonky, but that's fine. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Devi, it's a great city to meet other artists. Fantastic. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to meeting people. I love New York. It's definitely a fast-paced city. Got to get New York City pizza. Yes. What else do I have to do in New York? What's like not a touristy thing, because I'm not really interested in like the touristy shit. Like what? Also in California, like what do I need to do? Where do I need to visit? Like where would I be disappointed if I didn't get to do that? Because I got no clue. But yeah, honestly, it's the people. I could kind of care less where like I am. It's like hanging out with good people is where it's at. Because you could be in a beautiful place, but with a bunch of dickheads, and it's gonna suck. And then it kind of like ruins the great place. Alright, I've just got a multiply layer at the moment. Just whipping in some of these more subtle darker areas. And it's crazy to me, like when I figured this out, just how putting simplified bits of color and value and that kind of thing. Like as soon as I start putting the lighter colors in here, it's just gonna pop, and that's the best. That's so fun, just seeing that happen. I wanted to go to Lightbox this year, but I haven't decided yet. It's hard to get into the lectures you want. They fill up. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Shit, I should be looking at what? I don't really just want to be sitting at the table the whole time, if I'm honest. Alright, so I've got a screen layer here, just whipping in some lighter values, some subtle lighter values, and we'll make it pop very shortly. Let's go back to the dark value layer. Add in this little back bit. Add in this little line here to differentiate the whatever it's called, the doors. Dazzling Brooklyn Bridge. Yep, that's one. That's one I'll have to visit. CTN is good because they show the events on screens in the lobby too, so if you can't get in, you can still watch them. Great networking nights too. CTN. No idea. What does that stand for? Yeti Fresh. Yeti Fresh. I gotta say, I'm drawing here. That's a New York thing, I'm assuming. Depends where you're staying in California, and I like to visit the West Village and Soho in New York City. Okay. It's an animation festival. Alright, cool. I'll have to check it out. Got to see the skyline, definitely. So funny. I hear all these things on the TV, like in movies and stuff, like Soho, and like it's so funny. Like, because I'm going to be staying with my mate Christian Nee. If you're not familiar, go check him out. just like how big California is. Like, because you got Pasadena and then you got like Anaheim. It's just so fucking huge. Like, you could drive 6 hours and still be in California. Or if you drive you can't really drive anywhere here in 6 hours. You'll be in another state. Alright, let's add in some of these light colours to give that illusion of the trees. I think we can desaturate that just a tad. Keep the saturation, that's fine. I think we're not back to opacity. No, not the opacity. Let's change the layer mode to screen. Maybe. Yeah, that seems about right. And then I think we come in here to the darker layer again. Layers are great. They can slow you down. But for this sort of stuff, it's fantastic. Just being able to put the seats in underneath everything and even showing a little bit of the inside of the car. Just the illusion of it. You know, that really quickly just starts adding stuff. It's missing the tires at the moment. Let's whip the tires in real quick. Yeah, I'm liking the vibe of this one. Vinny, how you doing? Hamza, will you visit Pennsylvania? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I'm really not sure. All my plans aren't locked in just yet. If I like bookstores, the Strand is a popular book choice in New York City. Ooh. Empire State Building. Yep. Pretty sure that Soho is a fictional place. It's in all movies, so it must be. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's all these places. Artistic, how you doing? Catch you later, Ian. Thanks for popping in. Grand Central Station. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Wilbur, great to have ya. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys got the subway. I seldom see good things on the subway though. It looks sketchy as fuck. I don't know if that's just a bias of what's been shown to me on social media, but yeah, I don't know about. I don't know if I would say I'd be looking forward to going on the subway. And Central Park, yes. True. Yep, and I'm familiar with that one, and I'll definitely be hopping in there. My mate went there, and he was telling me don't go after dark, apparently, because that's just something you shouldn't do. But I don't know if it's all... Because I used to think, like when I was younger, like in America... Like when I was going to America, I was like, oh, there's like a better than not chance of like I'm going to get shot somehow. Which is ridiculous. But it's just what we get shown here is just like everything. Like, there's like guns all over the place. Which I don't think is untrue. But it's just like a bias that you have from what gets shown to you. Yeah, don't go there after dark. All right, fair enough. You love the New York subway. You're not in any. You're not in New York unless you're seeing rats on the subway. Yeah, rats and animals. I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me. It's people that stress me out. That's how the ninja. Okay, fair. Well, but just want to say I love the music on your streams. Do you have a playlist somewhere? Oh, thank you. I was getting some flack from the music because I'm not listening to the same stuff. This is just Epidemic Sound. If you go search and stream, and that's what I'm using. It's pretty, like a pretty neutral kind of playlist. Generic randomness. I just went on a trip to New York and it went pretty smoothly. Just mind your business and be mindful of your surroundings and it should be a good trip. Bloody good advice. I think that's just great advice for wherever you go. But no, I appreciate it. Generic. I remember when I went to, when I don't know, I was like 12 or 13. I was, like our whole baseball team, we were walking down Hollywood Boulevard. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, hey man, you like rap? I was like, yeah. And he like gave me a CD. I was like, oh, thanks so much. I had no idea. I just like, oh, thank you so much. I just started walking. He's like, hey, you got to pay for that. I was like, oh shit. And then like the parents like stepped in and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a different world. Lana, yeah, I think it's in the fall, so in October I'll be going there. Sketchy, you grew up in Afghanistan, and when I found out that some friends moved to the US, I thought, why would someone choose to live in the US? You could get shot. I did not see the... Oh, sketchy. That made me giggle. Good one. Yeah, that's funny. Fred Flintstone. Yeah, it's good advice. MHQ, good morning from the UAE. Great to have you, MHQ. Seeing all the parks in fall and sunset colours will be something. Oh, I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to this trip. Hopefully it's going to be the first of many. Let's add a little bit of this. Now I like to do these little studies because they're kind of they're just like not low effort, low risk, I guess. Likeness isn't an issue as much as like getting a person's face just correct and that kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, but it still works that stylization muscle, pushing the shapes a little bit. And like, I highly recommend it. It just gets me in the zone for the stream, because I predict there's going to be some frustrations with Blender, but that's part of the fun. Yeah, look, from afar that's looking pretty cool. I'm liking the vibe. Lana, and all the little trick-or-treaters walking around the village, and it smells like pumpkin pie. It's going to be great. I don't know if I've ever had pumpkin pie before. I don't know if I have. Maybe that's the time to do it. Let's add in some of these lighter things. I mean, I could come in here for a month of Sundays and just keep tweaking. I might even, because I've got a bunch of these now, right? I might even do this as like a print run. But like all my little, and just call it like wonky cars. It's just like all the little wonky cars from Stream for like the year. That could be kind of cool. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's get this subtle little light on the top of the tire, just to give us some dimension. And on the bottom here. But I didn't copy the reference, I didn't get exactly everything correct, but it still has that kind of vibe of this Daihatsu something something. I've got no idea what the car is, but some people like pumpkin pie, some people don't. Oh yeah, they don't really do Halloween in Australia. We've started to a little bit. Like, but it's nowhere near as big as America, that's for sure. Like you do have, like we do, like I've kind of lived through where it was nothing, it wasn't a thing at all. And then it slowly started to become a thing. And then you'd make sure that you'd have like the lollies and stuff. And like chocolates or whatever. Ready at the front door. And then this year I think we got prepared for it. And then no one came. So I was like, oh. Shame. What I think would be cool, just from like the sheer population of things, right, is just checking out like Facebook Marketplace, like what's available. There would just be such a collection of stuff that you could get, I reckon, just from the sheer number of people versus here. Like you come here, you look at the stuff one day, and then you come back the next day and it's like pretty the same stuff. And then you come back the day after, it's like, oh, there's one more thing that someone's put up for for grabs. And then maybe another. But I reckon New York, it would just be like bam, 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 like constantly new stuff all the time. I'm thinking more like woodworking stuff and like desks and stuff, because that's what I'm looking at the moment. I'm right in the middle of, do I get, I've got three options. And I can show you, I've laid it out all in Blender, so I can show you what I'm thinking for the studio. The garage, but I call it the studio because, you know, you say what you want it to be eventually. But whether I make a desk, buy a desk, or buy a second, like buy a new. But it's not a desk, it's like 3 desks that I need. Because I want to just a whole bunch of desk space, because I'm doing a lot of stuff. But if I'm honest, I should really wait till the next batch drops, just from a money side of things, because this batch I spent most of it on equipment for better content, cameras and mics and all that sort of stuff. And some machinery, so like a full like disc and belt sander and like dust extraction and airbrush stuff. And yeah, so it's all an investment back into the business, but it's also pretty stressful as well. Like shit, I hope it works. Cool. I reckon we'll leave this here. This is a fun one. I really enjoyed this. Eduardo, how you doing? I've been putting off practicing drawing all week, so tonight it's got to get done. Whip it open, Lana. Get the sketchbook open and go for it. Loving the see-through windows on this though. Yeah, no, this is a lot of fun. If I'm staying in Pasadena, if you haven't been to the Huntington, it's the best place. What is the Huntington? Devi, people are a little less warm than those on the West Coast. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And MoMA Museum in New York City. Sorry, I'll stop now. There's so much. Yeah, I got to go see the MoMA. Devi, but yeah, it's nice here. Okay, no, good to know. Good to know. You should do at least, you always enjoy doing cars. You should do at least one big car piece. Yeah, I reckon I might. I'm thinking about maybe even having like a character out the side of the window or something like that. It could be, because I do want to finish, where is it? I want to finish, come on, load. This one. Maybe this is like the trio. And then I draw them in like this kind of car. Maybe. That could be a fun little mashup. Or just like a challenge. The Huntington Botanical Gardens. Oh, I love my favourite place in the world is the Adelaide Botanical Gardens. Oh, I could just work in there. Say, I've been loving the YouTube tutorials. I'm glad. Do a New York taxi after you experience it. True. That's a good idea. Yeah, I love the botanical gardens here, so I'm sure I'll love it there as well. All right, let me show you quickly what I was talking about with Blender. So this is what I like to do with spaces now, like if I'm doing anything to the room or a room. So this is the plan for the studio. All right, we've got stuff in there at the moment, but this, I need a lot of, so this is a dust extractor here. Here is where the belt sander and disc sander are. This is the vacuum degasser, and this is the exhaust for the airbrush station. So this is going to be kind of like the painting and assembly station. And then this whole back wall is going to be, so I'm going to film in here as well. So this is the plan. And this whole back wall, I'm thinking about just doing, like putting all of the batches, like once they're done, they go here. So there's just a place to put them. And it's like, all right, cool. And then I can keep track of everything. And then here's just like assembly and like miscellaneous stuff. So this is like instead of just buying shit and be like, oh, I hope it fits. And here I'll have like all my paint racks. I'll just make these longer ones. The Batcave, that's right. Yeah, Ishan is going to be a little factory. The third floor of the MoMA is nice. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I've got a lot to do before I go, but I cannot wait. But yeah, so this is the idea for the plans for the studio. I've got most of this stuff. It's just these desks that I need. And these are IKEA ones that I was looking at. So I just got the OBJ file of the IKEA one and scaled them correctly. But yeah, storage is a big issue as well. So this is like a garage. So this is just like a whole slide up garage thing as well. So a bit of context for what I was talking about. All right, let's open. Don't save it. Let's close out for now. Let's go back to this character. All right, I think it'll be fun just to play around with this one, take it a little bit further, then whip it into Blender, see if we can do a quick sculpt, maybe leaving a little bit of a color on top of it, and then call it a day, I reckon. Lewis, I came a bit late and a little off context. So I was talking about making the studio, like in my garage, like making the studio for making, like producing plain Janes and the sculpts and that kind of thing, because everything's done in-house. Then we did this car, and now we're onto character stuff. Ishan, you're too kind. Thank you. Alright, I reckon first things first, let's get reacquainted with this lady. Alright, so what did we do? Yeah, that's just a copy on top, I think. So let's duplicate this one. Alright, so now we've just got something flat to then knock back. Yeah, this is where I was demonstrating, I think, my thinking behind drawing this a little bit. I'm from India, so it's like 6:45 a.m. when you start. Still like to come here once in a while. I appreciate it, Abdur. Good morning. Little Doodle Devil. How you doing? Great to have you back. Okay, so particularly because I'm going to be sculpting this one, let's make it a little bit larger. Because I'm going to be sculpting this one, let's move old mate out the way. Excuse me. Oh, I could just, yeah, let's just hide it. Hide, thank you. All right. Got a bit more room to work now. Right way back. Now let's think about this sort of topology, I guess. I want to make it larger as well, just to get some resolution. Okay. So thinking about the topology of these shapes. How are we going to tackle these from multiple different angles? So it's a 3/4 view. It's going to give me more, I guess, enough to at least get somewhere with Blender. All right. Thinking about the eyes in 3D space as usual. Nothing changes there. Veo Art, great to have you pop in. Okay, eyebrows, yeah, less important than the sockets here. So I really want to think about how I'm going to structure this. Alright, the back of the head, something like that. This will just be a simple cylinder that we'll start with, I think. This will be half a circle rotated, another half a circle, and then we can have some fun with that. We got these things here, obviously cylinders. Makes sense. Now the hair, we can really simplify that down, I think. Just to simple shapes. So I'm just really thinking through like in how I'm gonna do this, and maybe we just go to, we'll just do like a bust, just to give us some scope. Okay, and then we can do the head strap and blah blah blah. Let's. Okay, that's not terrible. I reckon I won't even bother about color here. I reckon let's just go straight into Blender, start sculpting some stuff, and then we'll see where we get to, and then we can play around with the colors. Oh, the indigestion is real. Abdor, who would you call inspirations for your work? Line Decker maybe? Yeah, lots of people, but Line Decker is definitely one of them. Definitely. All right. Whoa. What have I just done? Okay. Now I've got to get reacquainted. I haven't done Blender in a little while, so I think this is where we will pop up the puree. Just in the corner here. But then that's going to block everything. Maybe we do it like here. I know I can put it in Blender. Maybe I do. Maybe I will do that. But it's not like an orthographic view where it's going to really help me if it was like in Blender itself. Let's just take a quick screenshot. Really quick and dirty way. There we are. Okay. See my reference. All right. Let us begin. It's going to be a bit of a process, but we'll get there. So I want to start off with super simple shapes to begin with. As usual, if you're familiar with all the stuff I'm doing, it's simple shapes all the way. Scale I do want to keep it symmetrical, but we can fix that later, that's fine. I mean, I don't even need this. I can, it depends, do we do the quick and dirty like, let's just do it out of this. Let's just go straight into sculpt mode. Let's just get something going. I do like to usually block things out just with simple shapes and have separate shapes if I'm doing it like, I don't know if I've ever say I've done anything quote unquote properly, but let's just get that basic shape going. Lave Cosmic. Hello, I'm finally watching a real-time live. Love your art. Thank you so much. Ooh, great to have you. First step learning Blender, always delete the default cube. True. Louise, I've been watching a lot of digital painting tutorials, but I'm layer blending mode dependent. Any advice on how to find a balance between the two things? Being aware of why you're using the blending mode, so then it's not like a crutch, if that makes sense. Like, why are you using multiply? Why are you using screen? What is the outcome? Why are you using color dodge? All those, just asking those questions helps me a lot with not becoming dependent. That way I can use similar techniques in traditional, like multiply, for example, might be a darker wash over a painting. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Alright, let's just get the key stuff in here. We got that, as I mentioned before, just that cylinder of the ear will work swimmingly. Yeah, and let's whip in a little mirror modifier. Let's put that in there. Bam, bam. Let's not have it on the x-axis. And then place the ears. Cool. Rachel, how you doing? Abdul, can you name some people whose art you see for inspiration? Very different styles of yours. Feels more 3D than others. Very different style of yours. Feels more 3D than others. Max Grecke. Love his stuff. Huge inspiration stylization wise. Norman Rockwell. Who else? Pyru Daily. I can't remember. I just know like Instagram names. I'm not sure of their actual names sometimes. Who else? There's just a ton of people, but just like off the top of my head. I'm just going to my saves. Really? Like Letitia. Oh, Letitia. Fuck. What's her name? It's going to annoy me. Letitia. Let's just go on my Instagram. Letitia Gillette, I think is how you say it. Like, I love her work from like the 3D. Like I love like a lot of like 3D character artists, you know. You've also got Gabriel Suarez. His stuff is phenomenal. You know, so like a whole bunch of like mishmash of inspirations. Is the camera tilted? Oh shit. Is it? This is level. It's probably not level. Yeah, it's probably tilted a little bit and I haven't really noticed it. I'll need to fix that. Alright, I think it's time to start knocking in this face shape a little bit. Alright, so this is around about where the eyes are going to be. That's always going to look weird in the beginning. Massive forehead. Are there any books you particularly recommend for learning about light? Colour and Light by James Gurney, I think. That's a very good one. Could you show us a full character sketch you've drawn there? Because I wasn't on last stream and I'm gonna sketch it out real fast. You can just pop over to the last stream really quick and just take a quick screenshot of that one. That would still work. Supernova, great to have you back. Okay. Nemias Sonoja, great to have you. Okay, now let's add in. Whoa. Do we do that? I think we add the hair in. I think we add the hair in. Just as like a simplified... Let's just do a sphere. And just shape it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I'm going to come here. I'm going to cut this away. And we're going to fill that back up. Which is going to look like Edna Node. But then we can use this to then distort and just really pull it around wherever we want. I think we keep it symmetrized to begin with, just for simplicity's sake. Get rid of wireframe mode. Mixed, are you absolute bloody legend? How you doing, my friend? Great to have you. This is looking weird, and it will do for a long, long, long time. But we will get there. Huh, interesting. This is meant to be symmetrical, but it's not. Wido. What the fuck? Yeah. Look, that'll be symmetrical enough, I guess. Okay. Gives us some sort of foundation to work from. And then we can unsymmetrize it later. Just got the fundamentals of character design from 3D Total. I hope it's going to be helpful. I have that one as well. Looking at me. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Evan, question for you. I've started teaching a character design workshop at my job. It's a small 4-week workshop, but I've come across a scenario sometimes where the patrons will ask me for advice, and mixed up, I'm doing good. Thank you. When I see their work, it's way better than mine. How do you deal with the nervousness of that, and how would you best address needs of patrons like that? Very good question. Very, very good question. It's a very niche question. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll come back to that question. That's a very good question. Alright, she looks like she's been punched in the face, but uno momento. Or, where can I write this here? I'll just add it back to, we'll just go to Photoshop. Back in 5. Alright. Okay. Ivan, back to your question. So let's just reiterate. I've started teaching a character design workshop at my job. It's a small 4-week workshop, but I've come across a scenario sometimes where the patrons will ask me for advice, and when I see their work, it's way better than mine. How do you deal with the nervousness of that, and how would you best address the needs of the patrons like that? Exactly what you said. Address the needs of them. It isn't a competition. It's not a better or worse. Michael Jordan's coach wasn't as good as him, right? It's doing what you can to help them in the best way possible. It might be from a conceptual standpoint. If their technical skills are better than yours, it could be you giving them advice on the conceptual idea of the character or the thing that you're doing versus like rendering, all right? Seeing where you can help, be in service to them, which then will get rid of that feeling of inadequacy. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. That's how I would tackle it. Rachel, question is using Blender and positioning things like the crane game. Question is using Blender and positioning things like the crane game. It can be. If you want to keep everything like on axis, it's or you could just like grab it. You could just come here, grab it, and like move it around wherever you want, you know? But I like to do it crane game style just in the beginning, just to keep everything just all where it needs to be. Okay, so I'm gonna add the nose in, like for here, for example, because I want it to be symmetrical. Instead of me trying to place this on the head, it's going to be like all out of whack. You know what I mean? And it might just be a little bit off, but instead I got a shortcut where I go G, Z, and then G, X, and then it just takes it along the axis exactly where I want it to. How do you deal with all the empty spots in your sketchbook because of your handedness? How do you deal with all the empty spots in your sketchbook? Flip it around. Flip it around and there you go. You got a whole new section. I'm pretty sure it's a crime to sculpt a face facing along the x-axis. Or lock me up. Do I have the Stylized animal characters book from them? Are they worth getting as well, or are they similar to the character design one? No, I think they're like, I'm not sponsored by them. I've worked with them in the past. I've got that one as well, and I recommend it. I flip it open very often. You're supposed to sculpt along the z-axis. I don't even know. I don't even know if you're trolling or not. You could fool me very easily. I do need someone to tell me, how can I automatically get things symmetrized? Like when I go into sculpt mode, is there a way to do that? Or do I always manually have to remember to click the little fucking Y thing? All right, Sketchy, I appreciate you. Thanks for the heads up. Symmetry modifier. Yeah, but I want it across everything. Like, or just like in sculpt mode, default to symmetry on, you know? Maybe that's not the right way of thinking about it. I don't know. Wait, so you do recommend the stylized character books as well as the fundamentals? Oh, the animals one. I've got the fundamentals of character design, and then I've also got the... Is it the animals? Yeah, it is the animals, I'm sure. Creating stylized animals. I've got those two, and I highly recommend both of those. I can only speak to those ones. Super. I was waiting for you to come out the shadows. Okay, here we go. We're going to get an education, everyone. Bloody Super's in chat. I hope you've been doing well. So, symmetrize in sculpt mode. You can choose the axis and the direction on the axis. Yeah, I know I can choose that. How do I do that? Like, have it automatically be like mirrored with every new object. Like, say if I go here and then I create like another object. Oh, nice fucking circle. UV sphere, right? When I go into sculpt mode, how can I have that automatically be like symmetrized instead of having to always remember to hit Y? You can choose the axis and the direction on the axis. In the drop down next to where you choose the symmetry axis, also rotate that model. Y is forwards. Okay, let's do that. Super's good. Super tells me to do something. Oh, I'll do it. So in sculpt mode, yeah. What? In the drop down next to where you choose the symmetry axis, also rotate the model. Negative Y is forwards. Can I choose all of them, or do I have to parent them first? Or can I just do this? So, but I'm a little bit lost, my friend. Right next to where you choose the symmetry. Or do we just go rotate like 90? And there you go. Probably the shit way of doing it. Rotate. Oh, that's gonna mess everything up. Yeah. That's all right. I just need to go. Go. Okay. Wait, no, I don't. First, turn the radio down. The radio. Okay, first. Radial down to 1. I know what you mean, and I don't think that's possible. Okay, cool. At least I know. Now, I've got no idea what the fuck this is showing now. What is that? Oh well, we just roll with it. Let's whip some eyes in. Or just the balls. Just to have a placeholder to then sculpt the rest of the face around. Oh, legend. Thank you, Ishan. I have the CDQ magazine that you're in. I love the portrait you have of yourself and the other people in there. I appreciate it, Lana. I appreciate it. I've got next month's CDQ, the July issue. I'm actually on the cover. Not me personally, but my design is on the cover, which is pretty fucking sick. Oh shit. Okay, I fucked up. Hold on, where are we at? Legend. Alright. I know what you mean now. Oh, I'm such a fucking noob. Alright. Let's continue to block this out. It's always a point of it. What stage do I merge everything down, join them, and then because it's almost like layers in Photoshop. It's easier to just do everything and make adjustments on one layer, but it is nice to keep everything kind of separated. Rachel, so just a question about the process. If using a lowish polygon count standard in the beginning, and why? It's just easy to manage. Just easy to manage, just like you would start with simpler shapes when you're drawing. Same deal. Now these eyes are looking wonky, but they will look okay. I have confidence. Let's rotate on the Y. So we have some potential eyeballs down the road. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Actually, you know what? Undo, 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 undo. Let's create the lids. Let's duplicate that. Scale them up a smidge. Cut these in half. Delete him. Thank you very much. Then, cool. We've got a top lid. If you want to rotate the model, you can center the 3D cursor and rotate around that as the pivot. It actually is not a big deal for your purpose though. It's just a standard that everyone works in. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Alright, cool. So we got the base, or a base, for the eyes. Right, a lot of work still needs to be done, and we're slowing right the way down. I wonder why, I wonder why. It's okay. Let's sculpt mode. Should we rotation and scale everything? Rotation, scale, rotation, scale, rotation and scale. Cool. So we come here and we do do enjoy the crease brush. Just for this purpose of getting the planes. That nose is quite large, so let's make it a little smaller. I don't know why I'm whispering if I'm honest. Looks kind of like it does. It's not looking great. Who is this character you're sculpting? It was just a sketch from last stream. Just a little sketch, no one in particular. She was carrying the whatever you call it. The Monsters Inc. Scream canisters for some reason. Don't ask me how or why. Alright, crease. I've got to imagine a lot of this stuff as well. I've got not a whole lot to work with. Like, does the chin come in like that? Who bloody knows? Not me, don't ask me. Now it's funny, I've seen a few Pixar like behind the scenes of like the viewport, where if you look at it at one angle it looks great, and then you look behind and it's just like all mangled, like nothing actually fits inside, like the jaws and the teeth are way out and everything. She's a monster on the inside, that's what counts. There you go. Maybe this is what's her face grown up. The little girl. Can't remember her name. Boo, I think. Oh, legend. Appreciate it, Ishan. I haven't seen Inside Out 2. No, I haven't. Alright, I'm getting noodly where I don't need to be. Let's add in the mouth. I'm going to do that with cylinder. Rotate that. Boy. Then scale. This is local, so I can do that over here. Then just scale this completely. This is a nice way. Excuse me. Global. Move this forward. This I find is a really, really nice and quick way to get like an upper and lower lid. Lip. Alright. Then I think we go back local. No, scale, make it a little bit thicker. And then let's duplicate this, rotate it. And it's going to look weird. But it gives me a good base to start with. This looks really bad. This nose needs to chill out. Arjun, your stylization feels it comes from instinct rather than forcing. How do you gain this skill? I guess this is where, well, like the few times I would say that mileage is the big driver of the illusion of it being instinct. Because instinct is just you've done something so many times that it looks effortless. Which is really just what I've done. I've just done it so many bloody times. But that's always evolving as well. Oh, didn't want rotation, did deltas. But that is really, I guess, if it is showing that it is quote unquote effortless, I'm just making the decisions that I would have made a couple of years ago a lot slower, just that little bit faster. I'm still making similar decisions and having the similar questions of, okay, where could I push and pull this shape? It's just, I've done things a lot and I can kind of shortcut some things in my head. Now, this is looking very flat, which is not what we want. So I'm going to play around with this. This is like an early, like, Toy Story prototype. All right, you know what? I'm joining it. I'm joining this one and this one. Command J. And I'm joining it all. No, I'm not. I'll join the eyelids. That I will also join. Oh no. No. Got to apply. Join it all. Sculpt mode. Let's just go full on sculpt mode. So it will start to fit together. Hopefully. You never know. Could just completely whiff this one. Yeah, these eyes are way too bulging out. I mean, look at that. She looks like a bloody goldfish. So we will get there. But yeah, so the next art drop is coming July. Very soon. Prepping for it for bloody ages. I'm gonna get more art drops out more quickly, faster. But this one took a while because I decided to create a whole new product with the hand, which I was smart enough, but it happened. Now look at that. Look at those eyelids need to be in way more. Oh, Sean, congrats, my friend. Your first commission. Rachel, it's looking good, very interesting to watch. This makes me forget that I'm exercising. Oh, Rachel, bloody good stuff. Because we're talking about the smooth. Adam teaches art, great work. I began in college as a ceramicist, then returned to my painter illustrator roots soon after. Awesome, great to have you. Grinding out ellipse bone structures is fun. Tell me about it. I 1000% agree. Thanks for popping in. Alright. See, this is the beauty of that crease brush. So we can kind of, it's almost like drawing in a way. We can like find the planes of the head a little bit. And then sculpt them in. Is a bit funky, so that's not in a good way. There are advantages and disadvantages to traditional and digital sculpting. Digital sculpting, traditional sculpting, I can just pick the clay up and put it exactly where I want. There's no like moving the viewport. Appreciate you, Super. Thanks for popping in. Our resident blender guru, the real one. Sketchy, not relevant to your current task, but I thought I would encourage you to look into the ball tool add-on. It's really helpful for sculpting in Blender. I am down for that. I've heard about it. I'll definitely have to check it out. Thank you, Sketchy. But yeah, like if I just needed to make this like cut underneath here super slick, I'll just get a knife and just go shoot. But here I've got to go in and find the tool and fucking dick around with it for a little while. So yeah, I love the pinch and crease tools are just sick. See, that you can't do easily in traditional. Ball tool is the greatest tool of all time. Well, bloody hell, I've got to check it out then. I'm missing out. Just had some lip fillers in, so I need to fix that. Wait for the swelling to go down. It saved you several hours. Man. Maybe that's alright. Don't mind a bit of hyperbole. Hyperbole. Alright, just going to block out the side plane of the face a little bit just to see if we can find that. I am going to merge the lips. I think that might be a mistake, but you know what? Why would I do it if I think it's a mistake? That's a real question. It's looking a little bit more like... Not really. Let us. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Let's find that scrape tool. Yeah, jaw is quite wide here, so I think that's where I'm going wrong. I'm pinching the jaw in too much. It's quite flat on the bottom. It's quite stylized, so we can live with that. Is the ball tool like a free add-on? Yeah, it's free and already part of Blender. You just need to enable it. I can't even remember if I've ever played around with it. I may have, like, really briefly. Now, the fastest way to get your characters looking flat and like unrealistic is to have the lips like stick flat on the face. So you look how like it's not looking like it should be that way. Okay, eyebrow time. Let's see if we can. Well, maybe we should actually, instead of going. See, this is the thing that takes the most amount of time, is just like wobbliness here. Like just trying to get that just like bang on is fucking tricky. Alright, let's get the headband going. Ugh. First, let's make a crease and re-establish the eyelids. whole bunch of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Even the nose, I think. So let's make that a crease around the nose because it is cartoony. So I really want to define those shapes. Let's get that headband going. So I think the way I'll do that is do we curve it? Just cylinder it. Put a little bloody cylinder in here. I'm going to punch a hole in the cylinder. Rotate on the Y. Then I will come here. No, I don't need to punch a hole in it. What I'll do is I'll go. I'll look down the barrel of it. Come here and say toodaloo to you. Then that is just now a flat plane. Scale it. Rotate on the Y, and then put a little bloody head there. That is not symmetrical, but it's fine. Actually, no, it's not. And then we can whip a little solidify modifier. Get rid of that, and then we can say place it wherever you want. Bang it. You might need to put a loop in the middle of it to make it sort of like wrap around the head nice. Then back to where they belong. So this is what was always crazy to me with taking 2D to 3D. In most 3D styles, you have to understand shapes. In 2D, you can get away with not doing shading nor worry about depth. Yeah, you can, but then that's also a question of style as well. Because the stuff I like to do, I've got to think about that all of the time. Alright, let's add the goggly parts just as I've simplified. Cylinders here. Scale that down here. Now we could do something I don't know if you'd call it fancy. I think it's fancy. We come in here. We will then make that smaller. Then have that look like a lens. Then we come here and we do the mirror modifier on the y-axis. Choose this as the object. And then we have this sit on top of the face. So wherever I put it, or is it shape project? Nah, maybe not. Maybe I've got to manually do it. You could do that. I just don't know how. Make them a little bit stylized, wonkify them up a little bit. Alright, let's turn that off. Cool. Alright, we need to fix the eyes. Now I think one thing with the eyes is the lashes are like a huge thing. So I think we can come in and add in a plain Lana. The city of Adelaide does look really pretty. It is. It is. Here, let's add some lips. Loop, 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 loop. Then, is that the way to do it? Maybe we don't need that many loops. That'll do. We just need a little idea of the shape of the eyelash. Something like this will do. Then we whip open a solidifier. And we just got to shape it. Okay. Looks a little bit shit, but now let's get it in position. So I think these need to be, these is in the lid, sorry, I'm not being very clear. Mirror. based on this shape. Now we've got 2 lids. Brian Ty, it is. Rachel. So here's a question. When passing over a character design to a 3D builder, is it easier for the 3D blender to be given depth and values in shapes, or does the 3D have to interpret them? I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a 3. Like, I don't know. For me, like if I was going to do this proper, I would probably do a front, side, and 3/4 view, like sketch, to give me a better view of what I'm looking to do, if that makes sense. That would give me enough information to execute the design properly. But that's why they do the turnarounds, right? In 2D. How did these lips get so wonky? I have not a clue. That's an obstacle for another day. You know what? Let's make it easier on ourselves. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a... And then... There we go. Nice. Mirror. Now, notice I'm not talking as much because I'm really not as familiar with this as I am with just like drawing. I can just draw and chat forever. So my apologies. Object, sculpt. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let chat answer that because I've got no idea about my Okay, these lips are the next thing to tackle. Rotate 90, no. Rotate 180. A lot of this is just really being patient. Why is this off? Maybe the head isn't sitting. Somehow it got knocked out of whack. How odd. Alright, let's symmetrize the head. Whoa. I'm pretty sure that's what we're after, yep. Then this is... Not just a line. No, there's something off here. You know what? I'm just going to sculpt it in. Probably a mistake, but what are you going to do? Excuse me, what? Just happened here. Oh, some weird shit happened here, alright. Undo. Okay. Let's just join them all. Join them all. It is what it is. Hunter, super random, it might just be my 2 cents, but I think you should do something like the Lumberjack and Alien piece again. Really enjoyed tuning in weekly to follow the progress on one piece. Bloody good idea, Hunter. I think that's great. I think that's something I'll do. Definitely. Yeah, that's feeling a little bit like the current. Ever so slightly. There is a specific lip shape. Slowly coming together. Bashar, how you doing? Mixstar, bloody legend again. Have you ever made one of these of yourself? I haven't. I have not. Maybe one day. starting. I have no idea, Lana. I'm not listening to the same stuff. I am on Spotify. I'm listening to Should I Stay or Should I Go? Alright, let's see how the... Ooh. Let's whip it in cycles just to have a better look. Okay. Whoa. Let's see, was it the previous song? Let's see if I can save you some time. I Will Stay Here was the previous song by Sven Karissen. Sven? Alright, let's sharpen up some of these. Edges, shall we? The issue here is that the eyes are too out. They need to be quite a lot deeper based on the 2D version. There we go. That looks a little ish. A little better ish. See, now we've got that depth here, which we want a little bit more of that depth. Where is her zygomatic process? I've got that's a very good. What is a zygomatic process? I've forgotten what it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cheekbone here? Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's going to be I'm working on a YouTube video about the skull. And a big part of it is that I don't know all the little intricacies of the bones and that sort of stuff. I just know the shapes. You can get pretty far with just understanding the shapes only. So I've broken them down into four basic shapes that I use with almost every skull. Let's crease it. Crease. Arjun, what's your favorite animation movie that influenced in your style development? I like Toy Story. I think Toy Story, Monsters Inc., that sort of stuff that I grew up on. But it's not like a direct one-to-one, you know? The Incredibles. Now this here. Okay. I think we need to start adding in the eyes somehow. Now there's a bunch of different ways we could do it. Maybe I could do it with texture painting. Let's increase the resolution. And I wonder if I would like to be able to see it, so oh, how am I going to see it? How do I see it? How do I see it? I can't remember. Any help in chats with the seeing the vertex? Material? Texture? Vertex? Color attributes, attribute 1. Hello. Why is this not showing? I'll have to plug it in. Damn, we're on our own. That's okay. I'll figure it out. There is probably a way to do it through here. Where we come. Okay, let's think. This is the object and I want it to be on the material. In the shading options where you turn on attributes, shading options. Attribute here. YouTube tutorial time, that would be good. In the shading options where you were before, turn on attributes. I have, but then if I go to draw mode or vertex paint, yeah, that's the one. Nothing is showing. Why is that? So I'm on the sphere. You're painting white. Well, there you go. Oh shit. Okay, well now I've got to so she's going to be cross-eyed at the moment, so I think I should apply the mirror. Where's the erase? Why is this so unintuitive? Is there even an erase? Legend, appreciate your sketchy. Yeah, that's a good one. How do I, or do I just have to go back and forth between not ideal, but it is what it is. This is like an indication. Cicella, appreciate you, my friend. Open the tool properties. Cool, cool, cool. Here, let's just make it. Recommend using the color palette under the color selection part to easily switch between colors that you use a lot. Okay, cool. Oh, the color palette. Oh, get you. Cool. That makes sense. Legend. But now we've got some indication of where the drawing is. We can then come and tweak and change things just with a few more landmarks, you know. Lana, if you want one for iPad, I recommend checking out Nomad Sculpt. Slowly starting to come together. This needs to be rounded out a little bit more. So there's like... So it was looking just a little bit too 2D, just a little bit flat. And then we can do another thing where we use a mask. Excuse me. To then make its own. geometry on top using... I've got to talk in full sentences. I will in a moment. Mask. What is it? Mask extract. That's what I want. Excuse me. Oh, because I was doing it on both. Okay. How come it was doing it on the back of it as well? Mask extract. Yeah, fine. And then we just go edit mode. Okay, fine. I'm doing it the most jankiest way, but it'll get the job done. You get all these little bloody things here. Ugh. Alright. Yep, Rachel, I agree. I agree. Let's turn off symmetry. Cool. Oh, I still got the freaking mask on, don't I? There's just going to be a lot of tweaking and all that sort of stuff. Master Game, how you doing? Why is this not drawing very well? I'm going to clear the mask again. Or do I do the mask? No. No idea what's going on there, but okay, now it's doing it better. There's a bit of a different stream to what we're usually used to. We're just all drawing and painting, and just want to get a little bit better at Blender. Ah, good call, Sketchy. Let's actually just add, come to near end of stream. Oh, that eyes are way too big. Your brave man's journey up against House of the Dragon. Oh, I had no idea. Just keep the schedule. Keep it to the schedule. Great to have you pop in, Ray, though. See, I'd love to have a tool that just scrape it in and then there's just like an angle thing. Like this is what I want. So you can come here and just go. Like I want this just like an automatic brush. I think that's a lot to ask if I'm honest. And then it just sharpens that edge up for me. Rachel said, Ben, when will this figurine be launching? What figurine are you talking about? You talking about Plain Jane's? And the hand? Middle of July, I think. I want to time it with the Character Design Quarterly. Magazine release. If that makes sense. No, this one. Oh, no, definitely no. It will not be releasing. I don't think so. Maybe one day I'll get a 3D printer and print some stuff. Ah, Bashar, sorry to hear it. My hero, how you doing? Ah, Framu, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. So it's, yeah, it's like the subtleties that we could just dive into forever and ever and ever. Going. It's interesting to know there's a big House of Dragons stream, like TV show going on at the moment. So if I look and the numbers are down, there is a reason. we need some. Well, I'm going to duplicate this. And we'll call this sphere, or just like face. Asymmetrical. Alright, now we're going to start. While I do this, I'm going to chat about the plugs for today. So I'm going to have an art drop, as I've mentioned a few times this stream. Coming this July, you're going to have plain Janes. Bam. Stylized planes of the head. We're going to have, I'm going to call this the breakdown collection. So I want to do more of these anatomy study. So this is like the more detailed version, and you've got the breakdown of what I'm thinking about in my head when I'm drawing it. So we've got those two coming, and we're going to do thinking about a couple of prints as well. So keep an eye out for those. I'm going to just add the links. So if you want to get early access to that, because our last drop, that sold out in 3 hours, and 99% of those sales came from the early access group, or the newsletter, let's say, the email list. So that is the first thing. Second thing, if you like what I'm doing and you want to learn a little bit more yourself, head on over to beneblin.com and I've got a couple of things for you. Stylized character stuff. So it's a tutorial work through 8 hours, 10 chapters. You get to learn how I draw this guy. You got all the videos. You've also got Blender models, right, which you can download and learn to sort of think in 3D as you're studying and drawing, and a 40+ page field guide. So if you like drawing, wrong. If you like, I'm sure you like drawing, not what I was trying to say. If you like reading as well as watching the videos, this is for you, and I think you get a lot out of it. The Photoshop Auto Select plugin is the next thing. All right, so you can automatically fill in shapes in Photoshop, the lasso tool, do hue changes, luminosity lock, all that fun stuff. We used it earlier on in the stream, so if you want to see how that works, give that a whirl. And the last little plug before we sort of finish off the Blender sculpting, we've got the podcast, Make Now Think Later. If you like the business side of things, the numbers, trying to figure out how to make a living out of this content game, which I love doing, Make Now Think Later is our podcast. Me and Francis Lee, a good friend of mine, we chat all things business of content creation, real numbers and all that fun stuff. So that's all on beneblin.com. Back to it before I head off for the next 10-15 minutes. Can you hear me still? Testing. I don't see why it would have changed all of a sudden, unless my voice changed and it got... You hear me? Okay, cool. All right, so we're doing face asymmetrical. So I want to add a little bit of interest. Here. Whoa. Right, where the brow sort of curls up a little bit. And sort of builds up. Now the bones don't change. The bones are staying the same. Well, they may do if it's like very, very, very cartoony, but here I'm trying not to have the bones change. Let me smooth this out, then we can come through with the crease brush. I'm really not sure why this is fucking up. I like the draw sharp. Then we can smooth all this out. And we come through with the pinch tool. Pinch that in. Then I might remesh it a little bit smaller. So this is going to be a little bit easier to do. Because this here, this is pushing this bit of skin. Right, and this skin is going to be bundling up a little bit as well. Hamza, I certainly do. If you check out the links in the description, you can check out my Gumroad tutorial. I'm thinking about doing like a as part of the course I'm working on, like a live aspect to it, so we actually have some people that go through the course, whether it's like a small group of people that I take through for like X amount of weeks. I don't know if that's something that people would be interested in or not. So then it's me actually going through, critiquing your work. You see what I'm trying to do here? And then what we might be able to do. You'll be doing an internship this summer. Fantastic. Who's that with? So hopefully it can wait till fall. When's fall? Give me months, because I'm in Australia and I'm not sure where you are. But I know you're in America. No worries, Lana. I'll catch you later. So see how that just gives it just that little bit more like realism, just a tad. We could even scooch it over just a little bit more. Maybe, well that might be a little bit too much, we'll see. Then we go more asymmetrical with the mouth. Yeah, the asymmetry is where it's at. like looking, she's like, Fall is September, November. Yeah, or probably if it was going to be, it would be around then or even later. Yeah, in like 3 to 4 months. Yeah, I reckon that sounds about right. Sketchy, I appreciate it. Yeah, slowly, slowly but surely we got somewhere that's acceptable-ish. I think this can kind of come down here a little bit, maybe. Doesn't really, it's got the essence of the sketch, I guess. I still think that the eyes could be a little bit smaller and more like sunken into the head. Just based on the silhouette. Alright, I think we could leave it here for now. Alright, from where it started off to where we ended up, I'm pretty, I wouldn't say happy, but we got somewhere. Prashant, how you doing? Ishant, great to have you. Alright, what do we say this as? Like, I don't know what we call it. Lady with goggles. Cool. Alright, so there was our starting point. And this is where we ended up. Not the best, not the worst. Let's see if we could speed run. The last like 5 minutes. See if we can just add some color onto the face. Okay. Vertex paint. Okay. Then uh-oh. We've crashed it. Good thing I saved. Debbie, I think we might. Ah, sketchy. Thanks for popping in. Good call, Rachel. I like that. And yep, we've crashed Blender. I reckon, on that note, I will say thank you very much for popping in. Let's do it. Really, I mean, we didn't do much in Photoshop, but had fun with this little car. Whoop. No, not that one. This guy. I really like this guy. He's probably one of my favorites that we've done. It was like a little warm-up. And then we went into Blender and did some Blender stuff, but unfortunately, Blender has shut itself. So with that, hope you have a great rest of your week. Yeah, that's about it really. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you as always. I always look forward to these streams every week. Thanks for popping in, Prashant. Sorry, it was a quick one, but yeah, keep a lookout for the art drops. I'm planning on doing some more streams, some different streams, some in the studio / garage streams, and yeah, as always, I will catch you same time, 10:30 till 10:45 Australian Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. PST. 4 p.m. PST on Sunday, 10:45 Australian Central Standard Time on Monday. All right. Just catching up with chat. Good night, Bashar from Canada. All right.